So how long have you been involved in being a designer and creating incredible outfits?
So I didn't get into design until after my daughter passed while I was
Okay.
stationed in Hawaii.
Oh,
So that's where the Hawaiian feel comes from.
yeah.
A year after she died, I went back to Hawaii for her first birthday, and it was kind of like, you need to start a business. And it was something to help me with my mental health as well.
Right.
I was literally driving myself crazy, trying to grieve, but not being allowed to grieve because I had kids to still take care of.
Yeah.
The Air Force wanted to make sure that I was still, you know, a good NCO. So in order to cope with my loss, I launched Aloha Glamour.
Wow. I'm so sorry for your loss. How, it's so hard losing a loved one. I lost my high school sweetheart, fiance, to suicide when I was young. And so I understand as far as like losing a loved one and the grief and the loss and feeling lost.
Right.
How did you overcome that?
I put all of my energy into Aloha Glamour. At the time, the Air Force wasn't sure how to deal with my grief.
Right.
And instead of being frustrated and, you know, going down the wrong path within the military, I put my focus into my business.
Right. So she's a huge inspiration.
Yes, she's a huge inspiration. Had I not lost a child, I probably wouldn't be a designer.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's an incredible story.
Thank you. So what happened was I experienced 3 different losses back to back. So my daughter was born and she died in November. My divorce was final in December.
Wow.
And then I had to pack up to move from Hawaii to Mississippi.
Wow.
In January. So there 3 different type of losses that I was going through, and not having an outlet.
Yeah. And that's so hard to pick yourself up from that, and you feel so lost, and you know, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new life.
Right. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to even think, you know, you didn't even have time to grieve because it was from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And I resonate with that because I kind of went through different kind of losses, but I went through a divorce, and then I went through a breakup, and then I went through losing my dad and then my mom, and then losing a bunch of little fur babies, which are like family.
Right.
Yeah. So it's, you know, kind of hard to grieve. And then it's like, do you give yourself that time to grieve, or do you just keep pushing through? And, you know, your outlet was your clothing,
right?
Your design.
You start to question, even allowed to grieve.
Yeah.
I mean, people, they're aware for a certain amount of time. So for like a week, they're going through some type of loss, but then they forget life goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's an expectation for you to go on.
Yeah.